Good morning, starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I'm here with a very magical orca agate stone. It's a tumbled and polished agate stone, and if you've ever experienced the orca agates, they have an energy that is just so, honestly, there's a reason that they are called orca agate, and it goes beyond just their coloring, because when you look at the orca agates, they do have a lot of the black and white coloring of orcas, but they also have a very peaceful and a very regal, majestic is really the word I want to say, a very majestic energy. And this particular one was singing to me the other day, and I've been waiting to share it with you. And it seems that it doesn't want to wait any longer to be shared. I was going to focus on some other crystals this week, but I always make the plans and then I honor the Song of the Stones, because there's purpose. There's nothing wrong with making plans, but there's also nothing wrong with changing those plans and going with the flow. And going with the energy that is strongest, what's calling to you most, what is most powerful in your heart, and trusting enough to let go of what you plan to do and go with what is in alignment in the moment. And speaking of alignment, if you look at this part of the stone right here, to me, what I am seeing, and I am going to ask you to trust yourself and see whatever it is that you're supposed to see. But what I'm seeing is a polar bear, and the energy that I'm feeling from it is polar bear. It's powerful. It's strong. And it is, you know what it is? It's a healer. Polar bear is healer. And that's what I'm receiving. And again, always trust what you feel is right. So when I first looked at this, I saw this beautiful polar bear with its nose pointed right up into the sky, and then there was this dark cloud above it. And I thought, my first thought, my human thought is, oh, it's breathing in all the toxins at the top of the world that are settling up at the top of the world. And this beautiful, majestic being is trying to just survive, just live. And we've filled its environment with all these toxins, and it's breathing it in. And then yesterday when I heard it singing again, I understood what it was I was seeing. And it's not that this polar bear is breathing in toxins. This polar bear is breathing out medicine. It's breathing medicine into the sky, into the earth. And wow, it really just gave me a lot of perspective and a lot of understanding into judgments and first impressions, and what we see is not always what is truth. And what is truth, we don't always get to see. And, often our first impression, our first reaction is, especially when we see something dark, is, oh, it's bad, it's not good, it's toxic, we have to protect ourselves. And I know better, and I've seen so many magical things come out of darkness, and I know better, and that was my first impression. When I see a polar bear and I see this bear looking up into the sky and this dark cloud, that was my first impression. And, it makes the dawning, the realization, all the sweeter, because when you have this certain way of seeing something and then it shifts, it's almost even better sometimes than seeing the magic to begin with, because there's so much appreciation for it, but there's also a level of insight into yourself. And it's an invitation for future to be more open-minded, to wait a moment before making up your mind, to really feel into what you're seeing before you jump to conclusions. That's a very powerful gift. That is something that, it's something that is hard to sink in. That message, that teaching, it's hard for it to sink in, that to be open-minded, to be more present, and allow whatever it is to show itself fully before you make up your mind. So this being, this beautiful being, is singing in harmony with the Earth Council crystals, the green celestial quartz, the epic green crystals that you've heard me speak about. Because it's come into presence and it's come into our awareness now. Because it is here. It, they, he. He feels like a he to me. So he comes in to guide one who is working with the earth. And with the earth, what I mean when I say with the earth, working to shift the planet in a physical way. And that doesn't necessarily mean sucking toxins out of the air. It could just be working on a shift in perspective. Helping humanity to see things in a different way. Helping us to open our hearts to a new way of healing the earth and the environment, which really doesn't need healing. It just, the earth is very capable of transforming anything that we put into her. It's really us, it's really humanity that is suffering most from what humanity is doing to itself. So, this being is here to help guide one who is working with consciousness, working with shifting consciousness, and helping humanity to see that the solution is very different than what might be first imagined. Wow. Powerful being. So I'm going to leave you guys with that, and I'm going to say that this being is not just here for the one person who is going to take it home. He's here for all of us, and just by connecting to his energy, through the distance, and through perhaps a crystal blessing. It may be that I will show up again tomorrow to offer a crystal blessing with this particular being, so that as many people as who want can connect to this energy of this being and can do their own, because it's not going to be one person who helps to shift the consciousness of humanity. It's going to be all of us. And it starts by shifting our own consciousness. And really it ends with that. It's a bit of a dichotomy, but really our main focus should be on ourselves, on how we see the world, on how we show up in the world, and what we put out into the world and take from the world. And that's really all we need to do. It's really so simple. And sometimes the simple things are so elusive because they feel so pointless. They feel like it's not gonna accomplish anything. What's it going to do to the whole world if I change what I'm doing? What about everybody else? But that's how it works. That's how it starts. That's how it ends. You change, you be the change that you want to see in the world, and it's amazing what magic happens through that. Try it for yourself and see. And it also frees you. It's very freeing because, if you get wrapped up in wanting to change other people, you're going to be in for a world of disappointment. And you're going to use a lot of energy and effort trying to change something from outside of yourself when the greatest power that you have is from within. And it may seem small, but it's not. It's huge. It's huge what you can do. It's so gigantic what you can do. just by being you, just by doing you. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. Remember that you can tap into the energy of this being anytime you want. And stay tuned. We may be back for a crystal blessing. And in the meantime, just enjoy that lovely connection with this being. And remember the power that you have. Hold that thought with you. And whenever you start to feel the heaviness and the despair and the hopelessness, just remember that darkness is actually your medicine, and breathe it in and breathe it out. Sending you so much love, so much crystal love is coming out to you, and we will see you soon.